Introducing Instagram Teen Accounts, a new way to keep your teen safer as they grow, like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, sweetie pie, buckle up. Good job.
Or ring the bell on their bike.
Okay, kid, give it a try. Nice.
Or remember their elbow pads.
Knees too, okay? Yep. There you go.
New Instagram Teen Accounts. Automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences, like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code LISTEN50 for 50% off, plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50, code LISTEN50.
Are you feeling it? It's Super Bowl week.
It is Super Bowl week. You know when you feel Super Bowl week is when it's the week before the Super Bowl.
And there's no football?
Sunday, and they're playing catch or something. I don't know. I never watched any of what the now passes for the Pro Bowl. The dumbest thing in the history of sports, Joe, is we now have a Pro Bowl that's got dodgeball and stuff like this, right? But they're still naming substitutes. Yeah. You know, if you didn't make the team, but if somebody's injured, they're still naming substitutes for them.
Right.
Even
Where was
though the
that
guys
held?
don't show up. I don't know where was
That's a good
Was it in this country or Hawaii?
I did not
No,
watch
Hawaii.
it.
Actually,
I think
Hawaii is this country, isn't
Yes,
it?
Thank you.
Yes, right.
For now.
1958.
Till Trump sells it.
Yeah, we're going to sell that. That's right.
Orlando. We held her in Orlando.
I didn't see any of that.
Neither did I.
I was on a plane and had the good fortune of having the TVs in the seat.
Yeah, because you
I
probably
saw
watch a lot
every
of golf.
shot of Pebble Beach.
I'm down on it, man. You got to start playing faster. Come on.
Well,
Come
Tom
on.
Kim should be penalized.
Yes, he's unbelievable.
That's pathetic.
Yes, it's. There's got to be. I came up with a solution.
A shot clock.
You walk steadily. The caddy and the player
Yep.
must walk steadily to their ball.
Yep.
30 seconds. The caddy can say his piece and give him the information.
Yep.
30 seconds.
That's plenty of time.
Then he has to back up 5 yards.
Yep.
And if he speaks again, 2-stroke penalty.
Oh, boy.
And if he doesn't violate a second time, DQ. You're out. You're gone.
All right.
Boy, this is $100,000 for adjusting your batting gloves.
That's right.
You guys are harsh.
You got to do something. You can't. I mean, it's a 9-minute. And here, this guy's hitting second, but they don't start their discussion until the other guy hits.
No, be proactive.
Yes, come on, let's get it going here. And then the putting. Okay, the first guy gets 2 minutes to putt because he's got to read his putt.
Yeah.
The other guys are out there; they get a minute to putt. Let's go.
I wouldn't even give the first guy 2 minutes.
Well,
I'll give him a minute. The second guy gets 30 seconds.
Yes, that's. Yeah.
You don't get to walk the
You don't
entire
get
real
to
estate.
know and see where it is.
Yeah.
Instinct is supposed to be part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. This is,
Oh,
let's.
McElroy was on fire, though.
Oh yeah,
Boy, can he hit the ball.
God, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great year last year, and he won. He still hasn't won the next major yet. That would be good to see him go and win. I don't think he can win the Masters because he isn't a great putter, but he should get a Masters on his resume eventually.
No little
shouldn't he?
kids or the wife bounded out onto the 18th green. But he got interviewed by Amanda. And
tension? Was there tension?
Well, a little awkward.
All right.
You know,
Now he got back together with the wife.
well,
allegedly,
that's what they
right?
say.
Yes, allegedly.
So she didn't come running out to
I
greet
didn't
him?
see the wife or the little kids. You know.
No, I think things are. I think he found out how much it was going to cost him, though.
Yeah,
Amanda.
they've kept it together
Yes.
for the finances because he couldn't afford it.
I just have a really hard time imagining one of these golfers messing around. It just really shocks me.
Yeah, they're too busy.
Although I do, I still my favorite thing about senior golf is Rich has 4 children.
Yep.
36, 34, 6, and 3. It kind of indicates to me that the missus, the original missus, is out of the picture.
The dumbest guy in the world was me with Tiger.
Yeah.
No one was more surprised than me that Tiger was in all of those controversies.
I think.
Were you shocked before or after she destroyed the windshield with the golf club?
that was the beginning
that
of
was
my
when I ran
understanding.
Of your suspicion.
That's when he ran into the fire hydrant or whatever, trying to get away from her, right? Down at the end of the block. What do you have? What do you have at the end of the driveway that he hit?
Mailbox or something.
Mailbox
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's a good question.
You know, I guess the one that got to her was the 17-year-old climbing through the window, the neighbor girl climbing through the window to visit him while she was in watching TV or something like that. So
That could get you to pick up a wedge.
You know, Tiger, too damn many options.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
See, I got a name that
May I ask a golf question? Or are you moving on from golf?
I don't have to move on.
Well, I was going to ask, what's this thing they're advertising golf-related on ESPN that I keep seeing?
Well,
Tiger and McIlroy started some indoor TV league in Vegas.
Yeah.
I haven't
What is
watched
it?
You're going to watch. I don't know. I
Where you
can't
hit in a simulator.
I can't understand it.
Oh, so it's me watching pro golfers essentially play video games?
No,
Yes.
but with the members of the public with them,
so
right?
you go in there and yell at them. And,
So that's what I didn't know what it was, but I was going to ask you guys because these golf simulator places. So we have one in Jordan that opened, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. It's called Birdies, and it's neat. It's really cool for family. It's packed.
Is that right?
All the time on the
Isn't there
weekend.
something called Top Golf.
Yeah, that's just it.
There's a big, the big one out on 694 is there's cars in there. You know what? You know what that's big for? The Top Golf things like
Bachelor parties and stuff.
parties
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I
you know.
bartended one
'Cause
of
you
those.
you go to the Top Golf and you play golf in the afternoon and you get a semi-hammered and then you go someplace else
And get really hammered.
knee walking, and then the strippers come in about midnight, right?
Have you seen the video of, I think it was right at the conclusion of spring training, a bunch of the Angels players were at a Top Golf in wherever their facility is, and Trout is at the tee box, right? And it's a nighttime. You could tell the boys are having a good time, and he launches one that clears the netting
really?
straight ahead, and apparently they got kicked out.
Really?
But the video's fantastic. I mean, the ball...
Who hit it?
Trout, Mike Trout.
really?
And the ball disappears.
Well, why do they throw them out? They tell you can't hit it out? or what?
Apparently, but you can see cars driving behind the netting, and Trout just murders this golf ball.
Well,
It was really funny.
I got a question about the youth of America. When they get married now and they have the big parties, and
Sure.
do they, like, the gal's doing her thing someplace and the guys, they all get, like, anything that happens is fine. We just don't want any reports.
Some are
Is that-
doing like what the bride and I. Well, this is going on 17 years ago, but we started separately, and then we joined together at the end of the day.
Okay.
I don't.
When
I have
everybody
no
was
idea.
hammered. I have no idea either.
And you know what? I don't care.
Out of the
No,
game.
I don't either. But I'm just curious as to how much forgiveness there is with the guys who start at Top Golf and end up hammered downtown at some hotel, and then all of a sudden the ladies show up. I don't know.
I got another name I want to talk about.
Okay,
Ryan Hartman.
that was stupid.
Why don't you send him away?
Yeah.
It's the 5th suspension. Mm-hmm. You don't need to do this, what he's doing.
No, this was.
Is he an important cog in the machinery?
Not really. He was out for quite some time, and then when he came back, he was on the fourth line for a while. But
Now, I don't think an Ottawa player went down to his knees in the face-off center, and Hartman pushed him to the ice. I don't think it was a vicious slam to the guy's head. Nevertheless, the guy's head hit the ice, drew blood. He was able to skate off the rink. It wasn't terribly horrible.
And we were mad at the guy because he apparently Ryan felt he slashed him earlier, and then Ryan got an embellishment penalty against this guy.
Yeah.
You know what? We better hope that when we reach the Stanley Cup Finals, the opposition isn't Ottawa. Ottawa is humiliated
6-0.
Well, and it wasn't it 3-0 here? I think they beat them here too.
Did you see?
Of course, everybody beats them here.
Did you see how the Montreal fans treated Fleury?
Oh, it was fantastic.
That's just wonderful.
I think it was wonderful, but my theory is okay. I got to give you my theory.
Okay,
Minnesota fans getting emotional about Fleury being handled so kindly by the Montreal fans is the equivalent of Minnesota fans getting emotional because Brett Favre was being cheered in Green Bay. I mean, the guy's been here 10 minutes. It's not like we have this big emotion.
No, what I liked...
Seems like a nice guy. But yes, he never played for the Canadians. But
that's his hometown. But what I liked was the Habs get shut out 4-0.
Yes.
None of them pouted. They stood in the handshake line. Mm-hmm. That's the part I liked.
Yeah, that was good. I'll say that's good. And he, boy, Joe, do you know, I heard this on the radio the other day. The Habs 1 year were 64-8 and something like
it had to be a Jacques year.
Back when they won 7 cups in a decade or something like that. Yeah. They were they won over 60 games. I think I heard Louis say it on the on the broadcast. What was Louis doing in Ottawa? Usually Louis only does home games, only does road games on the radio, on TV about 3 times when they're down in Florida or someplace.
I think Louis liked Canada. I think he likes going to Montreal and Ottawa.
He was doing the Ottawa game for some reason. Business. He might have some business up there too.
Did he do the Toronto game?
I don't know.
They beat Toronto, beat Montreal, and humiliated by Ottawa.
By 6-0 by Ottawa.
That's hard to believe. Got another name for you.
Okay.
Who's the guy for Dallas that got traded? Dokic?
No, Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic, one of the.
He was we loved to hate him last year during the playoffs.
Well, because he re-taunted fans when they were taunting him. He basically picked out the same guys who were calling his names.
Well, who was the Denver bad guy?
Jokic.
That's Jokic, and then this guy's
Doncic. He's about
Doncic.
He's about 6'6".
He's a commie, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from somewhere over there. He can make shots from any place.
Yeah.
And he's what was it? About 2 years, he got himself in shape and didn't really have a good year, so he got fat again last year, and he got fat again this year. But they didn't tell any. Apparently, the 2 general managers didn't even tell their coaches that this was happening. And I don't know if Dallas tipped off Kyrie Irving about it, but if they didn't, they're idiots because Kyrie can lay down and miss 20 games with the best of them, right?
I think Kyrie and Anthony Davis are buddies.
Oh, so that'll be
and they're both going to Dallas?
No,
Well,
Kyrie's already with Dallas.
But Kyrie is a very high-maintenance figure, one of the many in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Hell of a player, but he's a gigantic pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. He also thought the earth was flat.
Yes, sir.
So he was...
That's a problem.
That was, he was kind of... Despite 1 year of Duke education, he thought...
Didn't he lead an expedition to the edge of the earth? Didn't he fly somewhere
I don't know.
So they can look off the edge?
Surprised it kept coming.
Why would you get rid of Jokic?
I was just going there.
I'll tell you what I read.
What?
He didn't like the ownership.
Well, I don't think he and Cuban are buddies.
Yeah, but Cuban sold.
But
Cuban has hung on to a part of the team.
yeah, he still has part of the team.
Maybe enough to irritate Dokic by showing up at the game or
Doncic.
something. Doncic, whatever the hell the commies
Just
do.
call him
You're
Luka.
kind of
Luka.
getting the Jokic and the Doncic.
I'm getting the
mixed
two
in.
dancing bears confused.
John Kick. Yeah, anyway.
So here's one of the biggest reasons why he was traded. I was watching, I think is it Shams? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Because he got traded to a different franchise,
Doesn't get the Superman.
he doesn't get the Supermax, Joe. Are you ready for this figure?
Yeah.
Had he stayed with the Mavs, because he's going to be a free agent right at the end of the season,
I don't think so.
or
I think
whatever.
He got one more year.
His next contract, Joe, would have been for 5 years,
Yeah.
$345 million.
$70 million a year. And
Now, do the Lakers have to pay him that?
No, that he's not eligible. He's now in a different franchise.
This was put in to basically convince players to stay with their original team. So, like Ant can get the Supermax when he sticks around here the next time.
Yep.
And that was done to keep guys like that from
done to
wanting to
keep
go to
Ant
the
here.
Lakers. It was done, and
So because he got
but in
traded,
this case, they're afraid of the. They've done the second apron now, so if you get this far over the cap, you can virtually do nothing to improve your team.
so he lost out on, by being traded, he lost out on $116 million because he's only eligible for 200 and what is it?
But he can also sign a 3-year deal for big money and get out earlier.
Sure.
To get a huge.
I really don't care because
He
I
can
can't
play
watch the NBA regular season. I like the playoffs.
They have got to get rid of the replays at the end of the
God
game.
Almighty. Yeah.
You
Wow.
have to get rid of it.
And as bad as it is in the NBA, at least you have someone helping you to say, okay, this is what we saw. College is much worse because they don't have anybody helping them. So you got 3 stooges over there looking at an iPad to see if there's 8.6 seconds left or 8.3 seconds.
Well, what preceded the Pebble Beach coverage on CBS was Ohio State at Illinois in basketball.
Yes.
The last minute 50, I
How
think,
many?
without
10 minutes?
exaggeration, I think it took almost 20 minutes.
Wow.
15
you're right.
minutes, yeah.
They just stop.
It just was ridiculous.
They look at everything, and nobody's in a panic about this. College
I want to
basketball,
watch golf.
I'm not. I don't watch NBA. When I watch an NBA game, I watch a hunk. I go watch something else. I come back, and then the middle of the fourth quarter, I'll watch the rest of the game. But college basketball is unwatchable. It's incredible, and plus. The games don't mean a damn thing. North Carolina, they're trying to pump us up to see North Carolina and Duke. Well, they're going to play this week. They're going to play in 2 weeks. Then they're probably going to play in the tournament. Who gives a damn? It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Speaking of college basketball, I saw a very, very funny video over the weekend. So John Calipari,
Yes.
went to Arkansas.
Yes.
Well, he returned to Lexington on Saturday
I
to
forgot
take
to
on the
look at
Wildcats. And
How
Joe,
they treat him.
Well, hold on. That's where I'm going, Pat. Because before that, former Kentucky head coach Rick Pitino offered up a video saying that the Wildcat fans need to act with dignity and respect.
Oh, yeah. For Calipari.
And show him, which he did a lot for the program.
Yes.
Thinking Rick is telling people to act with dignity and respect.
Yes.
And he didn't, as someone pointed
Even
out.
though
He
he
should have shot this video from the Italian restaurant.
Yes. When he was getting frisky with
Was having relations with the young lady at the
not
Italian
only
restaurant.
that. Across the street from where his office was, they were walking the hookers in for the players. I guess that's showing respect to young men. I don't know, but
Oh my God! I started laughing when I saw that.
I take it they didn't take his advice.
I did not do a follow up. I didn't
Did
watch.
Cal get treated like the national anthem's getting treated in Canada?
Booed.
I feel sorry for the 15-year-old girl
Yeah.
who's singing the national anthem. I mean, boo! Did you see the best line I ever saw, though? The play-by-play guy for the Vancouver TV said all Canucks penalties will be 2 minutes and 15 seconds because of the tariff.
That's pretty funny.
The tariff. He doesn't have any idea why he's doing it, does he?
It's a negotiating
dumbest
tactic.
trade deal.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal, the right-wing Wall Street Journal.
Well, they're not right wing.
Well, they're righty.
They're
right.
they're just good.
Well, okay, whatever.
What is the
They're
Star?
not
What
a
is the
left-
Star Tribune? That's lefty.
It's a left to the left, but not as left as it used to be because we got the Republican Senate leader as the owner. Glenn Taylor was so.
Well, we hired Walls' right-hand guy to be the publisher.
He is the publisher. Yeah, he is. I haven't met him. I don't know. He hasn't called me in for a sit down.
You have to regale Patrick with your sad observation from your travels about newspapers.
Oh, I know Pat shares this. You can't get a newspaper anymore in a hotel.
No, that's right. Nobody has them.
And you know what else is going to be shortly to follow? Airports. I got the last L.A. Times and the last San Diego paper
really?
at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, then they would seem to still sell some there then, right?
Yeah, but
they probably only had 8.
Have you ever been in an airport on a Sunday in your life when you couldn't buy a New York Times on a Sunday?
No.
Well, they're not there. Nothing's there.
I'll tell you what, though, our Sunday paper, man, Randy First piece on the, did you read it?
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty good.
Great. It's great. Yeah. Randy could start a fire, start a riot in a nunnery as a union leader, but he's a hell of a. This is he retired, by the way. Is his last piece in this about the two little girls who were murdered in 1963 in Minneapolis,
Right where you live, practically.
Yeah, right on Medicine Lake, and which was just woods back then. It hardly had any homes, but. The fact that he was able to get back hold of sources from back then is still some 90-year-old still alive who remember it. It was pretty good. It was awfully good.
Medicine Lake's pretty built up.
Oh God, yes, yeah.
There's no vacant lots.
The bride and I, when we were going to buy a house, looked out there.
You could have had a big pontoon boat.
It was not that expensive back then. And for about. If I wasn't such a cheap prick,
you could have
had
an
an extra 20. I could have been across the road.
Well, you
right
could have
on
a
the
yachting
lake.
hat and a little pontoon boat.
I could have walked out
I
the
am
door and
sailing.
said, "How's the lake looking today?" So
Then I'll sit at the end of the dock.
yeah, right. But no, I said, the hell, I'll buy a house with a pool. Then I'll work till I'm 95 to pay the damn thing
I would have
off.
gone with the lake.
You traded a free body of water for a very expensive body of water.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to take a dip in Medicine Lake.
No, it takes care of itself.
That's right. Might get a little weeds in here, but that's okay.
That's why we got Aquaside.
Is that lake maintained its health?
It was really good last year.
I mean, it's not green,
We
is
had
it?
all that rain early in the year.
I mean, it's a regular lake color,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
good. It's an underrated lake.
Yeah.
I think Chad's got Sid's house. I think he's tearing it down and building something new there. So
Chad who?
Chad Hartman, Sid's kid. Because Sid
Was Sid on Medicine
yes, he bought when he left Bassett Creek.
Oh.
And he moved out there, and he bought a one-story, and the people across the street would look at the lake, and he turned it into a two-story.
Of course he did.
And they couldn't see the lake. They all hated it. He turned it into a two-story.
Is this while he kept his river place?
Yeah, he kept the river place. Yeah, he kept he sold the Bassett Creek one, which, that's my favorite story. Was Katie and my neighbor lady, Mary, who ended up with bad Alzheimer's, used to take a walk every day, and they take the walk, and they're down there by Bassett Creek, and the guy who's across the little creek from Sid is out in the yard, and they start talking to him. He says, "Yeah, Sid Hartman lives right over there," and he says, and my wife says, "Yeah, my husband works with him." He says, yeah. I was putting these little white rocks, and I've told this story 50 times, down on our shoreline here. Sid came over and said, what's that? He comes over and says, 3 days later, he's getting bigger white rocks putting his... You want to see white rocks? I'll show you.
I'll get you some white rocks.
I'll show you white rocks. Damn it! You think you got the market corner?
I found your details. This is a follow-up story from Josh Peter, 10 years after the Tiger Woods crash, published in 2019. You were very close. You were very, very close about what Tiger, in fact, hit. Tiger Woods was behind the wheel of his 2009 Cadillac Escalade on the morning of November 27th, 2009, when at 2:30 a.m. outside his former mansion in Windermere, Florida, he collided with a row of hedges and then hit a fire hydrant.
Okay.
So the hedges kind of diverted
him. The fire
him.
hydrant was hidden behind the
hedges.
Hedges, yeah. And there was a very attractive blonde woman chasing him down the driveway with a sharp golf club.
The vehicle came to rest then after hitting a tree. So he took out the fire hydrant, then hit the tree, and then that's...
Was she ever suspicious when he was out in Vegas hanging out with some well-known hip-hop guys? Have you watched the P. Diddy documentary?
I have not.
Yeah, you probably don't want to. I watched a bit of it.
It's a bit troubling.
He was a bad
What about
fella.
this screwball who tows the woman around on a leash, Kanye West?
What about her?
Isn't he part of the P. Diddy trouble?
I don't think so. But maybe. But I haven't heard that.
No, he was married to Kim, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and she hung in there for a little while.
And on Joe's final day of broadcasting, he's going to give us his Kim Kardashian theory.
I used to have one, but it's all changed.
Oh, it has?
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have is this a part 2?
I'll have maybe a part 2.
Okay.
You know what? Here's my theory.
Okay.
They changed what celebrity is in this country.
It isn't much.
No. But
doesn't take much.
Celebrity is, What? Here's the thing. I was talking about to Judd with this, though. The NBA is in a panic, even though they got these huge TV contracts, because their ratings are down.
Right.
Well, the youth of America does not watch sports events anymore. They'll watch the NFL game, but they'll watch videos. They'll watch 8 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
But they're not going to sit down and watch the Celtics and the Lakers.
Attention
like they
span
used to.
problem?
Yeah, well, attention span and just what interests them.
I got 2 of them in my home.
What interests them? That's not watching.
They
a
love
game.
basketball. Mm-hmm. They'll watch. Yesterday was the Celtics and who were they playing yesterday? It was
Sixers.
Sixers, kind of a decent game, right? Couple minutes, and then it was all right. I want to go downstairs and hit balls off the tee or whatever. And I'm just thinking, well, don't you want to watch the game?
No.
See, when we were kids, there wasn't anything on TV. There were no games.
No.
So if there was a game
on TV,
it was an
that
event.
was a big deal.
Sure.
Baseball, when I was a kid, and I was a kid before you were a kid, and a big baseball fan, we had the game of the week.
Yeah, same with hockey at a game of the week.
That was it, the game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Twins, and we had, I think the first few years, we had like 40 games, 30 games maybe. Mm-hmm. The only home games on were 4 Friday nights in June or in July.
Wow.
Were the only, so now there's part of it.
But that might be part of the problem you're observing with the youth. They're spoiled. They're
saturated.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. So I got streaming. You still got Comcast, right?
Yeah.
You still got the cable. I got streaming, and on Saturday, you look at the streaming channels on there. There's got to be 20 college basketball games that nobody in their right mind would watch.
Except for my old man. Yeah.
Army and Navy. Okay, they're playing football. They're on each side of the stadium. blah, blah, blah. They're playing basketball. You got a bunch of white guys running around who couldn't beat St. John's.
There's 12 basketball games on TV tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Including Sacramento at Timberwolves. But you got
Perfect
Duke
health.
and North Carolina State.
Yeah, Duke. Ooh, North Carolina State. That's a big one. Yeah. I was in the barn on Saturday.
That's college women, Duke at North Carolina State.
Duke at North Carolina State. The women have kind of owned Sundays because they basically say you can go up against the NFL. Nobody's going to watch you anyway. So, But yesterday, my gal Caitlin had her number retired. It's a little early to retire the number, isn't it? She's only been gone 2 years,
I
right?
suppose, yeah, you're right.
I mean, she's going to do it. But they beat Southern Cal, and that place was madness.
I bet.
Every little girl in Iowa was there with a Caitlin jersey on, and they knocked off Southern Cal. And
I do love that she turned down the NBA. Did you see that?
What did they want her to do?
They wanted her to be part of the three-point contest for Ulster Week. She said, not interested.
Yes.
I love that.
I think she's handled it as well as you possibly can.
Of course, yes.
With all the black chicks, who came out and ripped her because she's, it's not her fault. 18,000 people.
Because you asked last week. Look what I brought with me today.
Oh.
The Reusse list.
Why don't you update it?
Because I had to add.
It's damn near full.
No, it's 2 pages.
No,
I'm on a second
there aren't
page.
that many things.
Oh, yeah.
We've been adding.
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay, hold on. I got to remind the crowd. Last week we added bad hygiene.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that wasn't on earlier.
on TV shows.
I got to add that. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Mud. He doesn't like
And mud. And mud was added last week.
Mud.
Before that, we added standing in playoff baseball games too early.
Yes, right,
standing up,
that-
you mean?
Yeah.
It's the second inning.
Sit down. Hey, the number 9 hitter's got 2 strikes on him, and I gotta stand up and sit
I love
behind
this.
some jackass who's waving who's gone to 2 games all year and now thinks he's wanted.
I don't like the word group in sports. I was
Yeah,
before
I like
that.
the word group.
I'm sick of group.
This is our group.
Roundabouts, we knew that for some time.
Yeah.
I don't like routine long field goals.
Yes, 62-yarders. What are you coming out there kicking a 62-yarder and you think you're going to make it? I don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't like the PWHL name. Is that in relation to our
Professional
team?
Women Hockey League, but also I don't like the Frost.
The Frost.
Yeah, you don't like the Frost. Okay.
Frost.
I don't like City Connect jerseys. No. I think we're all in agreement on that one. I don't like daytime exhibition football. God, I remember that tirade you had in August. Why is a game on at noon on a Thursday?
Yes, right.
Well, it should be at night. I couldn't agree more.
And I had to add the what do you call it? The quotation that the word despise whiteouts. You don't like
whiteouts. I'm sick of whiteouts. And then the whiteouts covers blackouts and redouts and everything else.
Yeah.
I got a new one though.
Can I read just one more? Because this one's going to get Joe. I don't like outdoor dining, too many flies.
That's right. That's right. I don't like it. Picnics.
I love outdoor dining.
I can't stand
Well,
it.
you probably did that in your travels.
Yeah, every time
Once
we
in a
could.
while, like if you're at the lake, if you're out in Lake Minnetonka,
Yeah.
and the wind
Too
is
many
brisk,
flies.
the wind is brisk,
Yeah.
then you don't have the flies.
That's
but
right.
You need
You
a
little
wind.
breeze.
You know, wind. But in the backyard,
Have you a little more of that potato
in the
salad?
backyard, we have some guests. The nieces or some people are over for. And they cook up some brats and you got potato salad.
Yeah, we
and all
get
that.
the picture,
They
yeah.
want to eat on the table downstairs.
Yeah.
In the shade behind the house, you're going to have flies up the yin yang, as we used to say. You're going to have flies. Come in the house.
Right.
Take 20 minutes. Come in the house. Oh,
my God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I disagree
here's
with
my
that.
new
All right, we
one.
got to add one. All
A
right, here
new
we go.
one. Get
Okay,
get
this
it
is
ready.
the
Get the
one.
volume ready.
This is going to take an explanation.
Yeah.
quality control of whoever makes Dots candy, okay?
Jesus.
The wife got me, I'm a Dots.
You like
I'm
Dots?
big on a Dots guy. I like them. I can polish. We put them in a little jar in a thing, and
He's
then
pouring them right now
You
with
walk
his hand.
by there. You walk by there and grab a couple, right?
Yeah.
Well, she got this. She ordered from Amazon. My God, she ordered from Amazon, and this huge package that's wrapped in plastic of Dots inside. So I open it up expecting Dots, but it's little tiny packs of Dots. 100 of them
In their own packs?
They're all little packs, so
I thought Dots came in a box.
they do well in a little tiny box.
Yeah.
These are tiny boxes
Yeah.
instead of the normal sized ones.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
Some of these boxes got 3 dots in them.
Yeah.
Some got 6 dots in them. So you got some fat ass who's filling them with dots, chopping down 3 when they
eating
fill
3.
They're eating 3.
You only get 3 at home.
Yes. So I open up the pack expecting 6. I get 3 because some person in Paducah, Kansas decided to eat 3 of the dots while they were filling up the dots. Now, it's probably a machine that fills them up, I would think.
Yeah, you would guess.
But they're stealing them off the deal.
Quality control at the Dots Candy Company.
No, what I wrote
thought
down.
You had a problem with red dots.
I don't eat red dots.
No, those get left out.
Red
So
dye.
if you can get, I just don't like the flavor. But the flavor, even though they're all
There's flavor?
But even though,
What are they, cherry?
But here, if you get, and I open up a pack of 3 and the 2 of them are red, I'm down to one dot.
You get 1 dot.
Let me tell you one thing.
Let me ask you something. What flavor are yellow dots?
I don't know.
Well, do you have any
Pineapple. I don't know.
Well, what colors do they
right.
come in?
Let me go to the.
Oh, God.
Let me go to the Google.
5 or 6 colors.
Well, they must have flavors. What's the point of having colors?
Yeah, they do whatever.
Well,
Yellow,
wouldn't red be cherry?
Yellow's lemon. It's good.
Lemon.
It's good.
Okay,
Yellow's
what's
Here
red?
we go.
then? Cherry.
Dots come in many flavors, including cherry,
There.
lemon, lime, orange, strawberry, and more. Strawberry is apparently the pink dot. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're tolerable.
You have an expert.
Right. They're tolerable.
I don't know if you know this, Patrick, but you have different varieties. You have the sour dots.
Oh.
Yes, you can.
Have you ever had sour dots?
I don't believe on purpose, but
They have yogurt flavored
Oh,
dots.
God almighty.
but I gotta say this is one thing Donald Trump has done since he became president.
Okay.
We used to have black crows, which are all Irish, all licorice, right? The black crows, dots, licorice, dots. They disappeared.
Yeah.
They disappeared.
You think Trump did that?
I didn't know.
Tariffs on the black licorice.
No. They disappeared 7 years ago.
Oh.
I'm at Jerry's the other day. They got black crows stocked up.
Wow.
I think with the Trumper, we brought back black crows.
Maybe that's it.
Could be.
Was that tweet worthy? Did you put that
I
out on the
didn't
Twitter?
put that out there. I thought.
But
it's-
I
people
wanna
throw the
might
MAGA
think
crowd a little
people
bone?
might think it had a racist tinge to it.
I got to
I
ask you
suppose.
something.
But for some reason, black crows went away, and now they're back. So that's good.
Of all the dots, the red ones would be the best. Cherry.
Yeah,
Cherry dots.
I don't know why I like them.
I don't like the flavor.
They're like, they're chewy, aren't they,
If I'm
dots?
ever in a hit and run, okay?
Yeah.
And they'll be able to tell it was me because for a mile there'll be red dots thrown out the window. When you're eating them in the car, you
Follow
throw
the trail. Oh, I got a red one.
The red ones, you throw them out. Well, you make sure nobody's right there. But, the dot's not going to cause a car accident. But, you throw them out, And some packs you get, some of the normal packs you get, they're half red.
The best
I
part.
think the oddest thing on the list now is this dot problem.
I have officially, as the scorekeeper of the Reusse I don't like list.
What's the first thing on it? Fruit that squirts?
Fruit that squirts is the very first thing. But I officially wrote down the dot quality control guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what's been added.
The dots. No matter what the fat ass says, I know
Second
he's
on the
eating
list
dots.
is
I'll tell you one thing about when you're eating dots, though, you got to go down and brush the teeth
Yeah.
to get the. You can't have that stuff.
You know, you
sitting in your
can't have things on the list that you haven't experienced.
mouth.
For example, you have camping on there. You've never been camping.
Yes, I
No,
was.
you've never
when
been-
I was a Boy Scout.
Oh, for
I
Pete's sake.
camped a couple of times,
Yeah.
and it was not for me.
Yeah, all
You
right.
know,
All right.
The best
this
thing.
was when you only had black and white TV, and I
Right.
still wanted TV. You know,
I'm going through there, but I can remember each and every tirade associated with an item on the list. For instance, I don't like sword movies.
no, I don't.
And you experience those.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Although I did kind of when I was a kid, like every other kid of that age, love Zorro. Did like
Zorro wasn't bad.
Zorro wasn't bad,
I don't like people who don't get sarcasm.
which is America right now.
Yeah.
And then, what's another one of my favorites? Because I love the tirades on this. Oh, the swinger party ones that included Kenny on Sports Talk. That one was really, really good. In fact, I should find
That goes way back.
That does go way back. Radon gas. I don't like s'mores.
No, I don't like talk about radio.
You don't like
Oh, talk
you
about-
don't like the alarms.
the
about it.
idea
Yeah.
that the idea
You've never.
that-
You're not
that-
worried about.
No,
radio.
I'm
See,
not.
that's one of the things you don't care if you're not going to die from.
No, I'm not going to die from radon,
Radon gas.
You know, the only-
Alarm of
Secondhand
radon gas.
smoke. You're not going to die of that.
Oh,
you know.
God, I hope not.
Oh, I remember this
I
one.
mean,
I don't like it. Don't go ahead. Go ahead.
secondhand smoke has to kill you before you're 79 to say it killed you, don't you?
I think.
Is there an age cutoff?
I would think.
Yeah.
You know, he died of, when they say he died of secondhand smoke, it's like 55 or 6,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
It's, you can't, when you're 79, that ain't-
cares?
That ain't, you know, I mean, you know, blow that smoke right in my face.
Right.
I don't give a
I don't like gender reveal parties.
I don't either. They're too dangerous.
Remember, because we took out Grandma with
We killed Grandma in Iowa.
right in the head.
She got a jart right in her right eye.
Did you see Tony Finau? He had a proper.
Yeah.
I want.
He just
had a proper gender
uncovered
reveal
the
party.
baby, and
They
it was-
did not. Him and Mom didn't know until she popped.
They kept her private.
Child number
All right.
6.
Yep.
And then Mom told him what color of uniform to put the baby in when the other 5 kids showed up.
Okay.
And it was pink. So
Well, it wasn't a uniform, really.
it was what
The outfit.
the outfit.
one of those things.
A
And-
onesie.
6 kids. Wow.
Yeah, Tony's. Tony seems to be a hell of a guy.
Thank God he
does.
won some money yesterday.
Yeah. Another kid. That's
Yeah.
right.
He needs to win a lot of money.
I think he still only won one tournament, right?
He won the
won
3M,
here. He won here.
but
only-
he's had great paydays.
Oh God, yes.
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most amazing stories in sports. He's from the Fiji Islands, for God's sakes. He grew up hitting the ball
grew
with
up
a
in
stick.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, but he moved. He moved.
He didn't move to the Fiji Islands.
No, he's
You're
moved
thinking
from.
of VJ.
He's from Fiji, isn't it? No, I am thinking of Fiji.
Yeah.
I got my Sings and my Phenoms mixed up.
I got to look up
I'm
the.
getting old. I can't remember where guys are from.
Okay, let me. I want to get the money for the. What do we call that? Pebble
PGA.
Beach.
Oh, the purse.
I
Is it
want to
in
get the
paper?
purse.
I don't
No,
know. Is
they
it-
stopped putting.
is
See,
it-
I'd add that to something I don't like. They stopped putting money in.
Yes, in the paper. That's right.
Is it a deadline related thing or what is
Here's
it?
the Pebble Beach payout.
Agate is smaller.
Oh,
All right, here we go. Here's the. Geez, you got 3.6 mil for winning
Roy
that
gets
one.
3.6 there.
They can thank Liv for that, can't they?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what Tony's.
No, they did make it this year one of the compulsory events, didn't they? For the first
so.
time in a long time.
Wow, 3.6. Second place, 2.1. Shane Lowry. Lucas Glover made $1 million.
Yeah.
Justin Rose made $1 million.
Boy, that Sepp Straka looks like a linebacker, doesn't he? Man?
Yeah.
He's from Austria, right? I think I got his country. Like, he's not from Fiji. I know that.
Tony took in $368,500.
Is that all?
Yeah, well, he finished tied for 13th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
But that'll take care of a kid. I mean, that's...
I saw one shot or two shots Saturday, and Scotty hit it so far out in the ocean he couldn't. Did you see that?
No.
Well, you were playing yourself, but
Yeah.
but he stepped on it and hit it left right over the ocean, and I guess it ended up on shore. It came back, but Scotty played lousy. It ended up about 10th, didn't he, or something? Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what Scotty did. I got it right here because I looked her up. Scott was, what the hell do you do here? Okay, Lowry, Rose won $1 million.
How about that? What a comeback by him. He had about a year and a half where he couldn't play. And he came back.
Scheffler won $535,000, tied for 9th.
All right. Well,
Tom Kim, who should be embarrassed, tied for 7th, got $640,000. Sepp Straka tied for 7th, got $640,000.
The shot of the day that I saw, though, was the guy over there in the tree roots hit it a foot from on 18 there. Did you see it? He was in the tree roots.
Cam Davis, I think.
He hit it he's an Aussie, isn't it?
What a
Aussie,
shot that was.
Aussie. Is he
What
an
a
Aussie?
shot.
He is not from
know.
Fiji.
I don't know.
Cam Davis.
The last guy was Brendan Todd.
Yeah.
32,500.
He'll be in the 3M, probably. Anyway.
I mean, $32,000 for a weekend's work.
Last, that's not bad.
That's not bad. 78th place. Nico Echeverria won $32,000, $750,000
So
for last place.
Did you get a report from Dad on the Gopher game Saturday? Did you talk to him about
I
it?
didn't get a chance to speak with him over the weekend. No, I did not get a report.
We were done in by our own ineptitude, and then the officiating was not real good for it. They did not believe in. I got a theory on the officiating. Phillips used to be in the NBA. He was one of the third officials. He was down on the under the basket, and Darson Garcia got pushed out of bounds, and he sat there and looked at it and gave the other team the ball. He got run out of the NBA as a non-vaxxer.
Oh.
And I think non-vaxxers are anti-Minnesotans, and I think he kept.
Did you make that link on social media?
No, I did not. But because that could be lawsuit worthy. So
I have an NIL question.
Well, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Won't NIL end many college programs?
It will end many secondary college programs.
Well,
yet.
will it turn some main college programs into secondary? For example, the Gophers. Mm-hmm. They can't compete with NIL money.
Well, they're not going to bow out of basketball, though, because they want that Big Ten money.
Well, but they're not, unless they get some sugar daddy to come in here, they're not going to get.
And people always talk about Fortune 400 companies.
I'm over here. I was talking on the wrong
People
microphone.
talk about Fortune 400 companies. Fortune 400 companies have boards of directors.
Right.
And they didn't all go to the University of Minnesota, and they don't give a good bleep about the University of Minnesota unless they are independently run by some Gopher booster like the guy with the FedEx in Memphis, who's given Memphis all kinds of money, $25 million a year or something. Right. We don't have that guy running our Fortune 400 companies. We got him running a few, but it's not like they can just, General Mills can say, hey, what the hell, let's give $5 million to the Gophers.
Yeah.
That doesn't work that way.
No.
We got those. It's not like when in the 50s when there were 14 companies in the Twin Cities run by 14 guys who love the Gophers. That doesn't work anymore.
So my question remains valid. I think you're going to see the end of some long-standing programs.
Well, what you're going to see at the U is the end of baseball and secondary sports. That's what you're going to see the end of eventually. Because, Joe, here's the other
Does
thing.
hockey have NIL? College hockey?
It's starting. It's not out of bounds like it is.
It's out of bounds in basketball.
Yeah, they're paying $400,000 for Darson Garcia.
Well, you're paying kids in high school to.
Yes. Yeah.
It's insanity.
It is. It's as I keep saying, it's the biggest change in sports of my lifetime. The last 2 years in college sports, biggest change ever. Because you can do. I keep telling the story. Half of Mussey's violations were the green Oldsmobile leaving the parking lot. Flip Saunders was responsible for about 50 of them because he used the green Oldsmobile to drive all over the place. The free green Oldsmobile. Now they give you a free Mercedes, so you don't need the green Oldsmobile, right? So, anyway.
But Ben Johnson, just to finish the thought.
Yes.
His whole career, basically, teeters on NIL.
Yes, and now it's, he lost his entire team.
Because they didn't have the NIL. Yes.
Because they didn't have the money. Elijah Hawkins, wasn't it Elijah? Mm-hmm. Little point guard, dribbled too much, drove me crazy. But he was a good player. He would have been pretty good on this team. And he got supposedly $500,000 for 1 year to go to. Is he at A&M? One of them's at A&M.
I don't remember.
And Pharrell Payne is like getting $400,000 to play someplace. And I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get why the money is unlimited. I really don't. It'd be interesting.
Is
to
it
see.
worse in football?
Well, no, because
it's worse in football to the extent that you've got 6 programs that run everything.
Yeah. But in football, one player isn't as important as a basketball player is. So
what year is Dawson?
I think he's a senior. This is his third college. He's North Carolina, then Marquette, and now here.
I think what the NCAA should do as a whole with NIL is have some dignity and respect like Rick Pitino wants us to have.
That's right. Let's have some dignity and respect. And, and maybe make hookers legal.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right. What the heck? Like Rick had going, I never knew a thing about it. He didn't look out his window to see who was coming in to visit the fellas at the dorm across the street. He's doing a hell of a job at St. John's, though. They're good.
The guy can coach.
You know who's having a hell of a year? Junior.
Yeah.
They're like 9-1 in the conference.
Well, he's had some really good years out there.
Transfers, yeah. He's killing it.
Yeah.
But they lost. The Mashburn left.
Yeah.
He still has a year late. He's in Pittsburgh or someplace. But he's got, 4 transfers again. He's doing well in transfer portal.
I don't need a pause today, gentlemen, but I do need a Valley Group whenever you're ready to conclude.
I think we're ready to conclude.
I think we gave him a lot of ammunition today.
I think so.
Hopefully, join the movement to make dots more credible with their small boxes. Put up a big sign at the Dots factory. Don't eat the merchandise.
Right.
They should have, I would think you got a place if you walk over to it.
Sure.
You can eat all the dots you want.
Exactly.
Right? So why are you eating them out of the box that I end up buying? It's although I saw that big thing of dots, and I said, this is either a St. Valentine's Day present from the wife or she wants to kill me. One of the two.
Or
right?
both.
Or both, yes. Make it to Valentine's Day and then slightly, pass quietly.
Hey, here's a guy that says Christ will return on Easter of 2026, and the U.S. government has the date down.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so we already know.
You got that to look forward to.
The Easter Bunny and our Lord and
from
Savior, Jesus Christ.
1872,
Yeah, we're all crazy.
Yeah.
The entire country's crazy. Then I'm not alone. I mean, the ratings aren't alone.
There's a whole lot of crazy out there.
A lot of crazies. And every time I drive in on
Are we still on?
Yes, we are.
Every time I drive in on Highway 55, where they took one of the
How's he
3
going to turn
lanes.
this into a bike
turn
lane
it into the
tirade?
world's largest bike lane, of which I have in 50 journeys seen 2 bikes while we're backed up for miles with idling away or using polluting the skies. I say this is why Donald Trump won the election. Because you got dumbasses doing this.
Well, Pat, we have that phrase here in GL.
And that is why Trump got elected.
Yes, there are
right.
many reasons. There are many reasons, and that's one of them.
the top of the
yes,
list.
it is.
Thank you.
Jim Paul's Valley Group of
Jim
GM
Paul
dealers.
and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. They're located in Apple Valley. Those are my guys, the Apple Valley guys. I've been buying cars out there for over 13 years, 5 or 6 cars. Friends of mine, such as Reavers, have bought cars there. Relatives, used cars, new cars. We got a great supply of vehicles right now. The inventory is fantastic with an incredible number of SUVs. I know all you people want your SUVs. They come in 4 different sizes with Buick. And then we also have the Sierra heavy-duty trucks. Right now, low interest rates, 0.9, 1.9, long-term financing, and big factory discounts. So I can't recommend them highly enough. Get your Buick, get your Sierra SUV, even get your Hummer EV at Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers, Apple Valley and Hastings.
Beautiful.